That night, Esfrost invades Glenbrook without warning. The attack is all the more shocking, coming on the eve of the two nations' grand new mining venture. The Duchy easily rushes into the Crown City, taking advantage of Glenbrook's unprepared defenses. Caught unawares by the sudden assault, Glenbrook's scattered forces can do nothing to fend off the invaders. Serenoa and his retinue rush from the mines to King Regnar's aid, slipping past the siege into Whiteholm Castle via the secret passage known only to Prince Roland.
Chapter 5: Encroaching Darkness.
Hold strong! Don't let them get to the castle! Aye, sir! Ah!
That armor! The Black Irons! Esfrost! Esfrost is attacking! What? Why does the Duchy march against us? This is a flagrant breach of the treaty. Levy a complaint against Archduke Gustadolf immediately.
I fear we're past the time for formal complaints, Your Highness. We can hold them no longer. We must inform His Majesty at once.
Of course. My father and Cordelia must be protected at all costs.
Esfrost invaded the Crown City by night! Preposterous! Gustadolf, what is that bastard scheming?
Lord Simo, I bring word from King Regna. He says, should the crown fall, Glenbrook is in your hands.
Your Majesty. Fetch my armor! I march to the Crown's aid!
Please, my lord, at least wait for Lord Serenoa and his retinue to return.
Out of my way! I pledge my loyalty to His Majesty, and it's a vow I intend to...
Your heart, my lord! Summon a healer, quickly!
Damn it! Death cannot take me yet. Serenoa, Benedict.
Alright, character stories are now available on the world map. View them to rally new allies to your cause or learn more about those who have already joined you. The characters rallied to your cause are influenced by Serenoa's conviction. The strength of your bond with an ally depends on the number of times that character has been deployed in battle. Alright. This is a crazy part of the story right here. When all of a sudden, by night, Esfrost just invades Glenbrook without warning, just like the narrator stated. This is just crazy. Hey guys, it's Skymer here, and welcome back to another episode of Triangle Strategy. In the last episode, we ventured to the mines, and we were already in there, technically, but we had to take on a group of assassination forces from Esfrost in the mines that were harming those miners, to silence them and to protect Jurgan in the process, which we did and then we didn't. Because unfortunately at the end, Jurgan is no longer of this world, which was just tragic, and Thalas had to, rub salt in the wound and be himself, so to speak. And in this episode, we are going to go into another exploration phase here in just a few moments, but there are going to be a couple more things that we need to do before then. So, starting off with our side story. At the Telior streets, Word of Esfrost's invasion of the Crown City reaches Silvio of House Telior.
The Crown City is under attack? By whom?
Please welcome the Lord of House Telior, Silvio Telior. One of Glenbrook's high houses. His distant domain lacks the fighting power of the other two houses, but has been entrusted with safeguarding the kingdom's precious reservoir.
Esfrost, it appears. They say the Archduke himself leads the charge.
Gustadolf. Then this will be no mere skirmish.
What shall we do, my lord?
Protecting the royal family is House Wolford's duty. Let us bide our time and see how they fare.
You would not make for the capital, my lord? Our kingdom's very fate hangs in the balance.
Which is all the more reason why we must not act rashly. Esfrost is too strong a foe for House Telior to face on our own. For now, tighten our defenses and bring me what information you can.
Yes, my lord.
This brings up a lot of questions to me because I think that this is a definite conversation starter. Is Silvio selfish or smart in this situation? Because yes, he's a member of the Glenbrook territory, yes, and he is one of the 3 high houses of Glenbrook. So a part of me says, well, then defend, the main castle of your land, your king. You might be one of the high houses, but you certainly aren't the highest one. You're not the highest one in power here in this land. So defend those who have helped you. But also, I understand his methods of wanting to tighten his defenses, because it's the reason why Esfrost could get into their gates so easily, is because they were unprepared. So if you prepare the defenses, you have a little bit more likely a chance of being able to stop their vanguard from being able to immediately take impact on your land without you being able to defend very well. But I guess that's one of those things. Like, do you actually think that Silvio is being selfish or smart in this situation? I guess that's like our question of the day, which this is like the first time that I've ever done that on my channel. But if you have a response, let me know in the comments. And now, speaking of the character stories that came in, let's see who we're recruiting first. A serious-looking youth with a thoughtful demeanor comes to Serenoa and Company with news from the Crown City.
Thank you for agreeing to see me. My name is Julio.
Please welcome Julio Reitman, the minister's aide. Once an officer in service to the crown, Patriot recruited him as an assistant upon learning of his clerical abilities. He's a very good unit.
So, you're looking to pledge your service to us, eh? They tell me you're from the Crown City. Something happened to drive you our way?
I'm afraid so.
Why have you brought me all the way to this place? Whatever it is you wish to speak about, I should hope it is important. I am a busy man.
It is indeed. It concerns the Grand Norzellian mining venture. Pardon me if I'm being presumptuous, but I came across a most curious thing when I was reviewing the particulars of the arrangement the other day. There were documents that I did not recall having seen before. Specifically, documents pertaining to the compensation of the workers contracted to transport the iron out of the mine.
Is that so?
Following the paper trail, I could not help but notice that a not insignificant amount of coin had made its way through paths most circuitous and befuddling into your hands. Something easily overlooked at a glance, but my eyes are sharper than most. No doubt you have a logical explanation for this?
I haven't need to explain it. Even if I were guilty of whatever it is you have the gall to accuse me of, there is naught you can do about it. All that I have done with Prince Franny's full backing.
You would claim that His Highness is complicit in this?
The high and mighty are always scratching each other's backs. Everyone knows that. Everyone, it would seem, but you.
To think the Crown Prince would be party to such corruption. Has our kingdom truly sunk so low?
It would fall on your head should word of this get out. Considering the nature of the crime, I shudder to think of the punishment. Luckily for you, I've every intention of keeping this matter between us, so long as you don't go running your mouth. Why, I'll even toss in some coin to sweeten the deal. A fair enough bargain, wouldn't you say?
Coin? I spit on your coin. I will not remain silent. I cannot! I will root out the rot of corruption that plagues our realm, no matter what it may cost me.
You stubborn, self-righteous fool! I'd hoped to settle this as reasonable adults, but it would seem that...
Sound the alarm! The kingdom is under attack! Esfrost strikes!
What's this?
Needless to say, the circumstances make my return to the Crown City impossible. Pray allow me to be of service here.
Ah, now it's coming back to me. You were Sir Maxwell's second-in-command during the tourney, weren't you? You didn't stand out much, but you held your own well enough. Aye, I reckon we could find use for him yet.
Very well then. Be welcome among us. Eridor, see that our new friend gets settled in.
Thank you, my lord. You have my word that I will serve you well.
A master of tactics and TP. Yulio can grant TP to allies and lower the TP of enemies. In some cases, he can counter mages and just keep them from casting eternally until they fall. It's amazing to watch. Alright, so let's go ahead and check him out, shall we? Yulio is an advisor class, comes along with the Curved Blade and Moment of Truth. Grant 1 TP to an ally and raise their strength and magic attack for 3 turns. That is an incredibly good skill, by the way. On just about anyone. Anyone can use this skill. And not on my watch. Deal physical damage to a single enemy and decrease their TP by 1. Like I said before, once mages cast, they usually need a turn or two, at least in the beginning of the game, rather, to start casting again. So if you can kind of get up to them with Yulio, and use Not on My Watch, this is an incredibly good effect to completely seal them from casting, because they can only cure 1 TP over time in very, very most situations. So I definitely think that depending on scenario, we might be bringing him into this next map, but because we already know that's fast approaching. But what's even faster approaching is this exploration phase. Serenoa uses hidden tunnels beneath the castle to sneak in and save the royal family.
Gah!
Secret tunnels beneath the castle. Who'd have thought?
None but the royal family knew of this secret. They were built as a last resort, should the worst come to pass. Doesn't appear anyone else has been down here before us. Father must still be within the castle.
Along with a host of enemy soldiers. They appear to have breached the gates.
It truly is Esfrost. But I do not understand why.
We will seek understanding later. For now, we must protect His Majesty and the royal family.
Aye. We'll smuggle him to safety one way or another.
We must take care. The castle has fallen into our enemy's hands.
I mustn't charge carelessly into the enemy's blade. Time to find out what happened here. This is just tragic. I mean, all of a sudden, like, we just go from this peaceful 3 kingdoms in this one country that, on this one continent that can finally get along. And last time I checked, this is an example of them getting along. So I'm just going to be doing some examining around here real quick. Roland, we're going to save you for last. Benedict, what are your thoughts on this, my good sir? The emergency gates have barred the way forward. We must secure this area and press onward by force. That they've made it this far into the castle bodes ill. We must hurry. Yep. A commemoration ceremony program. Sounds like an interesting little tidbit. So this just gives kind of... Oh. This is what was supposed to happen prior to the tourney in Chapter 2. I did not put that on this particular series, but the tourney was the episode before the one that you saw in Esfrost. So that's very interesting that we got to see, you know, what happened, I guess, before that. And what's all the more interesting, too, is that they have all these, like, these barricades up everywhere. So it's a stall tactic, for sure. The mining venture brought peace to the realm, and my betrothal to Frederica ties our nations together. Why would Esfrost commit such senseless violence? They're like as not to be in the throne room. Invasions seek to remove the head of state. Move quickly. The king needs us. You ain't gotta tell me twice, Anna. And the music really does tense up the situation. At least you're here. My sweet little precious baby child. You stay safe out there, sweetheart. As well as everyone else. Nearly all the soldiers have perished. What could Esfrost possibly want with our kingdom? We're too late. I mean... It's crazy that just moments ago we just had a tourney here together, and now... Look at this place. It's a bloodbath here. Esfrosty armor. What could possibly drive them to invade us? Oh, this guy's still alive. Hold fast, brave soldier. Pray, tell us what happened here. Gustadolf. He stormed the castle. No, this can't be. What would drive him to do such a thing? Oh my goodness. He's drawing his last breath. What drove my brother to such madness? He went from having a silver tongue to a thirst for power, among all things. What is going on in this place? I'm gonna check this side, because I'm fairly certain that I may not have explored this area in full. Let's see here. And probably down there to the left. Yeah, I did not search down there. House Wolfort, defenders of the crown. You've come in our hour of need. I thank you for your loyalty. 'Tis my duty as lord of the High House. Come, brother, let us defend our kingdom. Stay strong, good man. Rest in peace. You have more than earned it. Wolfort, Falx, and Telior are all charged with the kingdom's protection. They were once a single clan. Now divided, House Wolfort is their de facto leader, and as such bears the greatest responsibility. So not only does Serenoa become, you know, the lord of his house, but just moments after, just a few mere days later, or whatever the time fraction is of this game between then and now, just so much pressure has been put on him. It's not even funny. It's just awful. Let me take one quick look around, because sometimes I do tend to miss like a very, very subtle item somewhere. Alright, not that I could find. So let's talk to Huette, and then we'll get a move on with this, because we gotta be fast. Do any of the Kingsguard yet remain? If they've all been slain, I fear all is lost. This is Huette Buckler. I think I've already talked about her, but she was and is a new member of the Kingsguard. So the factor that she's talking about the Kingsguard makes me think that these are her friends, her comrades in arms. I certainly hope that some of them have lived at the very least. The only bodies here belong to the Royal Guard. The nobles themselves must have fled. Makes me sick thinking such cowards serve our king. We cannot expect them to fight. My only concern is that their money does not fall into the hands of our enemies. Let us consider their duties to the crown fulfilled and leave it at that. For the moment, we all share a common goal: survival. We can have our revenge if we survive. This one seems a little bit like... It seems like an odd response to this, because if Serenoa's concern is the money that the enemy could have gained, well, if they take the whole kingdom, look at how much they got for free. Who cares about the money when they can control all that land? Literally free of charge. But I'm also not a believer in revenge. I'm a person that, you know, that doesn't believe that revenge is the answer either, because scoring violence against violence, I understand the thing of defending yourself and self-defense, but let's just say that they've done what they have done up until this point and just squash it. We have better things that we have bigger problems to deal with. You'll get no complaint from me. The safety of the commoners below is more important anyhow. I just hope one of them has the courage to remain in the Crown City. It's their duty to lead the people in a crisis like this. They have their duties as we have ours. We must focus on protecting the kingdom and trust they will come through. Well stated, Serenoa. Well frickin' stated. I really wanted to save Roland for last because this is his home. How is he feeling about this? Roland? The enemy is already deep within the castle. They've made it look so simple. We must hasten to my father's side. We know not what the enemy wants. Let us remain adaptable to whatever awaits us. As Lord of a high house, I swear to you I shall protect the king, come what may. Pray, hold. You are of royal blood, which may make you a target as well. I don't think that he cares about whether or not that he's a target, because he knows that his father's a target. And as from what I've seen from Roland so far, he does not hesitate to speak his mind. So telling him to hold right now in a situation that threatens his family, that's not a way that I want to say this. But I will protect the king, whatever the cost. My friend, it is a blessing to have you at my side. I've never felt such courage. The King's Guard and Sir Maxwell will be with Father. I have every hope they yet live. Yet every second counts. We must make haste to the throne room. All right. And with that, let us make our haste and see what happens next. We'll learn nothing more here. We must keep moving. And just like that, we have another battle and another character to recruit, so we should probably end off that with that story. Serenoa accompanies a young blacksmith to gather supplies when they happen upon an unfortunate scene.
I can't thank you enough for accompanying me to gather supplies, Lord Serenoa, but I hope I've not usurped too much of your time.
Not at all, lad. Not at all. I was heading back to my encampment anyway. More importantly, this area is rife with Frosty. I hate to think what would happen should they discover you or any loyal to House Wolford out here.
I cannot much bear to think on it either. My lord, there's someone here! He's dead.
Those are Glenbrook colors. He must have met his end at his Frosty Steel.
I know him. We were friends. He had such praise for the blade I forged him. This blade, here, the broken one. It failed him. I failed him. And now he's gone.
You are not to blame for his death.
But...
we are at war.
I'm sorry, my friend. I'm not as skilled a smith as I believed.
We risk much lingering here, but let us give him a proper burial before we depart.
My lord, you needn't go to the trouble.
It is no trouble. It is all I can do for him now, and I shall curse that I cannot do more.
Thank you, Lord Serenoa. My lord, ever since that day, I haven't stopped thinking about how I might put my smithy skills to better use. I didn't truly grasp the reality of the situation. What it means to be at war. What duties I have as one who forges weapons. Though I am but a novice at my craft, I will not ignore the truth I see all around me. I will face it and stand strong. That's why I wish to fight.
Are you certain you're prepared to wield steel outside your forge?
I am. I need to better understand what it means to live or die by the blade. A lesson I hope to learn by your side.
Then you are most welcome among my ranks. A novice you may be, but you have the makings of a master.
Thank you, my lord. I, Ians, hereby swear fealty to you.
Please welcome Ian's Mocker, the smithy. A young blacksmith working at Wolford's encampment. There is no weapon he cannot forge. He decides to stand upon the battlefield with the rest of his house so he can better understand what it means to live or die by the blade. And we'll make sure that live is the only thing that happens.
I shan't let you down.
Ian's aptitudes in battle. Opens up new paths with his craft. Places ladders to create shortcuts and can set traps and automatic turrets. I've used the automatic turret thing before. It's pretty awesome. Alright, so let's review him before we go to battle, shall we? Ian's, the artisan. So he has a hammer, which has very, very low power to it. He's not really a unit that fights a whole lot. You actually want to use his tech skills quite a lot. Spring Trap is a great ability. You set a trap on a selected square, very similar to Rudolph with his Steel Trap. But any enemy who will step on it gets knocked back 5 squares, and up to 3 traps can be set. So this makes it so that you can absorb their turn and just shoot them off the battlefield. It's pretty cool in some instances, and I will definitely hope that I can show some ways of those off. And ladder. Set a ladder on a selected square for easy access to other areas. Ladders that are previously set with this ability will disappear. So if you deploy one ladder, it will stay on the field permanently until you build a new one. That's basically what that skill is saying. But again, not necessarily the most offensive unit like we've seen from Roland, Serenoa, Eridor, and Rudolph, and Frederica. Ian's is more of a backline supporter that's going to be there for tanking hits and ensuring that your units can be protected. So that's what he's there for. But in the next episode, I will have all these units trained up and ready to fight the good fight at the Wolfort Castle. Or not Wolfort Castle, I'm sorry, Whiteholm Castle. Whoops. This was Skymer, and I hope that you all have a simply fantastic day. Bye, guys!